Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all doing good. Mark, hello, hello. How are you doing? Yoda, hello. Lee, hello. Ah, there we go. Nice to see you. How are you? And Andreas on YouTube, hello. Vacaro, Leon, Captain Mitchell. Yeah, okay, so Leon asked why I didn't choose the old, kind of the original livery, which is a good question. I honestly did not think there was one, so I wasn't aware of that. Let's just quickly load the flight plan here. And Giftswerk, hello to you as well. I hope you're doing well. Just need to start FSUI PC. And then we should be good. There we go. So we're back in the A310. And currently the aircraft is being deboarded. Right, but that looks a bit weird as well, doesn't it? Shouldn't it be containers? And Alpha, hello, hello. Kazipaya, hello to you. Danny, hello to you as well. Right. Excited about being back in the A310. And we're going to be flying this beauty from Austin, Texas.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel Experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served.
So
Thank you.
Excited about Mexico. I have got the payware scenery, which didn't really get that good of remarks, but I think it's fine. You know, the interesting thing really is the approach there. So Mexico, caramba, arriba, arriba, andale. And Mighty Morph 93 coming with 2 months. Mighty Morph, thank you so much. Thank you for your support, my friend. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Right. Without further ado, let's see.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Hey, Brennell.
Could new subscribers please make your way to the
Brennell,
first
I hope you had a
class
lovely
cabin,
day yesterday.
where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
It was Brent's birthday yesterday, so Brennell, once again,
Good
happy
evening,
birthday.
Captain
And,
Black Box.
I hope
I'm
you're doing
happy
well.
to be here for 68 months now.
Thank
See
you
you
so
later
much.
in Norway. Smile.
Thanks so much for 68 months here on Twitch. That's really, really kind, Brennell. Thanks for all the support. Yeah, I hope you had a fantastic day. You did. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Right. I'm not sure why open exit 4. All right. Let's just get the batteries on. Quick check. Landing gear lever down. Make sure the radar is off. Start levers are off. And we have flaps, slats, levers
Welcome aboard
all
the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber
correctly
experience.
set. Wipers
Could new subscribers
off
please
as
make
well.
your way to the first
And then we'll
class
take on
cabin,
the
where complimentary drinks, snacks
external
and
power.
premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Looks like the
Happy anniversary, mine Coppertain.
Hey, Mark, thank you so much. My God, 65 as well. Such a long, long time. Mark, thank you so much also to you for the amazing support, your friendship. Thank you so, so much.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And also, big thank you to Casper coming in. 40 months on YouTube. Thank you so much, Casper, and I hope you're doing well. So just switching up to live time. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the amazing support already coming in. Luke, hello to you as well. Didn't say hello to you yet, have I? Luke, welcome. Avenger as well. Giftswerk, hello, hello. Oh, before I forget, guys, I've been contacted by Tolis, and I will be able to pre-stream the Tolis A320 Neo the dates will be published soon. Yeah, we'll see how that aircraft is modeled. Now, hopefully, it will be modeled nicely with regards to the engine model. You know, fuel flow, sounds. So yeah, something to check out. But I've been asked to do a pre-release stream as well. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, Captain Mitchell, looking at how many Neos are now being built and how many, Neos now kind of replace the CEOs, definitely the way to go, yeah. Right, Austin, Texas. Now, actually, I was excited about Austin, Texas as well because our 787s are supposed to fly here in the summer. So that way I can already familiarize myself with the airport here. So that is payware as well.
Do you want to deboard crew?
No, thank you. Fine. Right. So, yeah, nice airport. Like it. Nice add-on. Looks fantastic. Right. It keeps on beeping me regarding.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Where's my
Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Visa.
Good evening from EFHK.
Hey, greetings to Helsinki. How are you doing? Visa, thank you so much for the 19 months. I hope you're doing well. Just let me see, because I do want to have the E button mapped here, so that should be 8. Let's do this. Oh, come on. That's nice. Cool. So. No. I'm trying to set the that button to 8. It's not letting me. Hang on. Save that under 8. There we go. That should work. Bingo. All right, cool. So, let's see. It's telling me to open door 4. Is that exit 4? Is that it? Let's close that. Jetways on trucks. Trucks should be on. Cool. So then, what's this? Departure METAR. Okay. Flight. Aircraft. The bulk, yeah. The bulk is that's for cargo as well, yeah. So what's aircraft? Version details. So plan. Good. I'm supposed to be able to pull in the flight plan, correct? There we go. Sim brief. That is the flight plan. Fantastic. So now that's checklist, flight. Weight and balance. Plan. 0 fuel weight. Is that correct? No, 0 fuel is supposed to be 106.7. I also need to make sure that I've got kilograms set. Kilograms. Right, yeah, still complaining. Hold on. Also, I want to set the customize airplane. So I want to have that is fine. Yeah, that's Mexico, Bernard. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter. We're not going to bother with that then for now. Cool. Let's continue now with the preparations. So what we'll do is we're going to go up here and just put these to nav, get the alignment going, and then we'll have seatbelts on, no smoking's on. That's good. That will start up automatically later. Strobe lights auto, nav light 1. That is all set. Thank you so much already for the hype train. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the support. Level 3 completed. Thank you so much. Why only 2? No, sorry, 3. Yeah, yeah. Good catch, Bakara. So while that is going on, I'm gonna see if I can already call the fuel truck. Request refueling. So what I need to do is actually set the passenger numbers manually then. I think that was like 222, cargo about 4, and fuel, according to the flight plan, we are supposed to have a total of that 16.2 taxi out, about 500. So let's put 16 point. Well, let's put 16.6 because I got a bit of extra fuel there as well. So 16.6 as our required fuel value. Oh, 16.7 is fine. So, Hayden, hello to you. How you doing? I'm not sure why it's complaining. Exit. All right, I'm gonna open all the exits for crying out loud. Maybe then it'll stop complaining. So there we go. Right, that's all I've got. I don't have any other exits. Shut up. So, hey Philip, how you doing? Nice to see you too.
Refueling truck is on its way.
Cool. So there was a way. Wasn't there a way to load in weather automatically here? Man, it's been some time. I've not flown this for quite some time. Right, here got the weather for Austin. 190, 10, gust 16. That's current weather, that's fine. 3003. And temperature 23, yeah. And so 1016 is 3003. Mexico, it's a bit hazy. So 7 miles, winds from the north, 5 knots. So 5 right it will be. Hey Flyleo, how you doing? So update METAR works as well. Fantastic. Cool. So that. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's continue here. We'll wait with the fuel pumps until we started the APU. We're going to have disregard, not the propellants. The window heat will start. Bleed panel will leave as is for now. That's fine. APU will start in a minute. Let's just let's check the engine fire warnings. That is good. Right. Well, at least now it stopped complaining, so good. Next thing we'll do is align the IRS. So we can get that started. The flight number is American Airlines, and I had to change it. Weird enough, the first flight plan number I put in actually was already taken. So now I've got to go 659.
Fuel truck is in position.
The alternate airport is... yeah, let's take that. 8. Hang on. So that was that. I've got to change one thing here regarding the camera views. So input. So that's the throttle yoke. So that shouldn't be 8, should it? That should be something else. So let's have a look for the camera views. Camera. Select load camera view. So we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4. How about 4? Yeah, so we'll do that. So this will clear. And we're going to do that. And then we'll do that view here. 4. Really, it costs 10 FPS? I don't know about what settings you're running, but that sounds a lot, really. Cool. So I was going to put this to fuel page, and okay, so why did it put in 19.6? That doesn't make sense, does it? There we go, now I've got 16.8. Okay, so they finished fueling, that's good. Cool. So, we don't have any control here, so we're going to depart out of 18 right. And that's going to be the... How would you pronounce that? Bandaya? Bandaya 3? So we're going to go SID. 18 right. Bandaya 3. And there is no transition, it seems, to Bandaya. And then from there, it's direct Iceman, Jet 25, all the way to Mike Alpha Mike, Uniform Juliet 19, all the way to Tango Alpha Mike, and then Uniform Tango 100, all the way down to Enaga. And from there, we'll use the ILS Zulu 5 right, Enaga to Alpha arrival, and the transition is going to be Sutas. Insert. So that looks pretty good. Yep, that is complete. So that's fine. So fortunately, we don't have Navigraph yet, do we? In here. That's a shame, actually. So, all right, just go by that. However, nope. Okay, that's a shame. I don't know why they haven't implemented that yet. Anyways, we're going to go with the 23 and 1016. So let's calculate that for departure and runway length. Just put Navigraph up here. Import from SimBrief. And so we'll show you the departure route. So it's the departure to the south, 18 right, and it's just heading initially, or assigned by ATC, and then vectors and cross guards at or above 5,000, and then we go to Bandaya, and then en route. So initial climb assigned by ATC. So I'll put in 5,000 initially. Good. So runway length is 3,734 meters. So 3, 7, 3, 4, enter. It's a dry runway. The runway heading is 175. 175. Wind from the south, 23 degrees. Good. The weight, takeoff weight, according to our flight planning, is going to be 120, let's say. Yeah, let's calculate that with 120 tons. So we'll do 120.0. Flaps 15. It's a long runway, so let's leave that 15.0. Anti-ice not required. Air conditioning on. So let's calculate that. So there we go. Should be, yeah, easy. I mean, this aircraft is neither at max takeoff weight, and it has an amazing amount of thrust. So 57 is the flex, then 35, 35, and 70. So we'll go. Oh yeah. So we're going to go with flex takeoff. Let's switch on these first of all. Okay, the power on as well. So now we have that panel active, and now we can actually go and select flex TO. Hey Jeremiah, thank you much. Same to you. Assuming you're flying as well. If you click on the dotted part, it should give you. Okay, hang on. Well, you mean here? Okay, I'll try it next time. So that was 35, 35, 70. So we're going to go with 170 here. And then I'm going to click on it. And then set 250 for the speed thereafter. So 250. Okay, Vakaro, thank you much for the help. Lower left before the numbers. Total length should appear. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought somehow there should be a way to do that. But like so often, yeah, I tend to forget some stuff. Good, let's assume it's going to be engine acceleration 1500 feet height. And also thrust, well, shouldn't be, well, let's put that in there. And then we put in 1000 feet height thrust reduction. So make sure the engine's spool down a bit. So no takeoff shift, so that's fine. So we've done all that. Flight plan is inserted. Now for the wind data. Descent forecast. I'm just wondering. Mode. Econ climb. Ah, okay, so you need to put in that first, so it knows which one. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Cool. Yeah, thank you, guys. Let's have a look. Menu, FMS. I'm searching for the prompt where I can put in some wind data. Is it right-hand side? Yeah, there we go. No, it's not. Hang on. There's no wind data, okay. Yeah, it's just descent winds then. Okay. Let's start the APU. So we go to master switch on. Flap is, fuel pump is on. And then let's start. So that door should open. Yeah, now you can see it opening. Or is it me just imagining things? No, it's open now. Maybe needs a fuel pumps on, I don't know. Let's try that. Oh yeah, it does. Now it's starting. Yeah, I can see the heat blow now. Yeah, the A310 is a little bit... yeah, now I can hear it. The A310 is definitely a little bit more tricky to get used to. But I like the combination. I like the fact that you have, you know, typical Airbus electronics. And then you have a yoke. It flies beautifully with the yoke, so that's why I do like it. Alright, so now it's starting up. Very nice. You can see as the RPM increases, voltage increases, frequency increases. Now we've got that set. Switching off the electric external power, so the APU is now taken over. If we go to electric page, AC, it has AC and DC electric page, but we can see the APU generator now supplying AC bus 1, AC bus 2, and so. Oh, you're right. Yeah, no fancy table. Yeah. I agree. Nice. So we go profile and we'll go nav. So we got profile climb armed and nav is armed. That is good. And so let's have a look. Request. I tell you what. The aircraft should be loaded, correct? Is there a way I can see that in here? So yeah, I don't need GSX, right, to load the aircraft. So I should simply trust these values Because we did apply them. Yeah, is applied. So that is fine. So that is good. That's a nice view there. Quite like that. So as far as I'm concerned, we are pretty much ready. Now, what we could do is enter a VOR manually. The question is, do we need to? There's no reference there. It's an on-off departure. Yeah, no, so we don't need anything in that regard. So, briefing. We're departing runway 18 right on the Binder 3 on-off departure. Initial climb, let's do 5,000. So initial climb 5,000. Runway track was 175. Yeah, so 175 degrees, radar vectors, 2-point guards, and then en route. And the sector all around is 3,100 feet there. Extra fuel, 3 tons for Mexico, you never know. You know, a one go around means you have to do a huge pattern because of the terrain situation. So if we do the approach and high altitude airport, 7,500 feet or something, or 7,300 feet. So, you know, high true airspeed, high ground speed. You can mess up the approach quite quickly, and then if you go missed, you're going to have to fly a fairly long pattern again. So 3 tons extra fuel sounds like a good idea. Right, then taxi out. We'll push back. Let me just get the apron chart here as well. So we push back. I think we're at stat 19. Push back facing to the west, and then we'll just go Charlie and then 218 right. Engine out is just straight ahead. We'll accelerate at about 2,000 feet for the engine out case, and clean up, get the procedure done, and then return to Austin. 18 left, 18 right, both long runways. So perfectly good to return. Specials, I don't see anything specials today. Threats at the moment for the departure, I don't see any either. What does a sector circle mean? Well, that's 25 miles around the airport, or around a fix that is specified. And then in that 25-mile circle, all of the obstacles are considered. And let's say if it's 3,100 feet for the sector altitude, that gives you 1,000 foot clearance over any obstacle in that region. If it's a pie, so if you have several you know, pie pieces there in that circle, then you have different MSA or different sector altitudes or safe altitudes. Yeah, also always 1,000 feet clearance to any obstacle in that area. Good. I'm going to read the checklist. I've got a paper checklist here, so that way I don't have to go into the EFB. Cockpit preparation is completed. Signs are on. Let's put this to auto then. The fuel quantity is 16.7, and the navigation is checked and set. Landing elevation. Okay, so I already have to set the landing elevation, guys. You bear with me. Well, actually, with Brennel's mouse here, which he gifted to me, it's actually quite fast. So 7,300. Landing elevation is set. Altimeters. I can see it's 3004. Oh, let me just recheck that. So update the METAR. 3003 now. 3003 is set, cross-checked. Brake anti-skid is norm on, and the windows doors are not closed yet. Let me do that. Close all. Parking brake is set, so we can get rid of the GPU and the chocks. Wonderful, all done. And last thing to do is the jetway. So let's do it GSX way. GSX, operate jetway. Good, doors are closed. The beacon is on, and the parking brake is on as well. So we can request pushback. The weather is nice, I think.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
It is a beautiful aircraft, isn't it? I mean, very versatile, very powerful.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
787 is better. You're right, it is. Lol. Let's do facing west on taxi lane Charlie. That's cool.
Locking gear.
Yeah, but is it really? Well, I mean, like with many things.
Welcome aboard the
Hey,
Captain
B,
Black
nice
Box
to see
Twitch
you.
channel subscriber experience.
How are you doing?
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium
Lol.
flight entertainment will be served. Thank
AJB
you.
comes in with 22 months.
Short and thick, I guess it is someone's thing,
Release
Capital
parking
HD.
brake.
No comment on that, so Agent B, thank you so much. 22 and I hope you're doing well. How's your flying going? Right, are we supposed to already release the parking brake?
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber
Press
experience.
Commencing push.
Could new
All engines
subscribers
clear.
please make your way
Start
to the
at wheel.
first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Huh? Why can't I pan around the cockpit anymore? Hold on. What's happening? That is weird. Alright, and the Krishu, thank you for the 12 months, 1 year on Twitch here. Thank you so much, Krishu. I hope you're doing well. Okay, that is strange. So I can't... what happened to my... my mouse? Maybe it's just because GSX, I don't know. Anyways, we are going to select for engine start. Let's do B today. And I think it's engine 1, right? So we'll start engine 1. The PAX will be switched off automatically. Oh, APU bleed. You're right. I was just wondering. There we go. Now it's open. Thank you.
Set parking brakes.
Still confused why my
Waiting
mouse...
your confirmation for a good engine start.
My mouse doesn't work anymore. Let's see if that goes. So zoom works, but I can't pan around anymore. So 23, 24, here comes fuel on. Ah, the engine sounds. Oh yeah. Man, they did such a great job here with the sounds. Amazing. Alright, stabilized engine. Start engine 2. Start valve is open. We can see N2 rotation. Oh, and I've said it many times. I love the combination of digital and analog dials. That to me is just the best way to show that.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Hamburg, greetings to Scotland. Is it -5?
Unlocking gear.
I guess what? You know, this morning I woke up, I looked outside, and it was snow covered. I think we had like 5 centimeters snow this morning. Oh, now it's working again. Brilliant. Cool. Maybe it was GSX. Alright. Good engine start. Let's do the after start flows. Forgot that.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Right, I'm going to wait for the all clear signal here. Spotted predicting snow in the UK. The GPS signal is there. I'm just going to dial down the sim sounds are just a tad. I have a feeling that's a bit loud. Cool. Then we'll do the flight control check. We'll go to flight controls. So we've got full up, full down. That, full left, full right. Lord, what's this? Are you joking? What is that? Why is the zoom changing? So, let's do that. Ailerons. Anything else? There we go. Full left, full right, rudder, full left, full. Why is the engine off? Panic. I'm sure it has to do with something. Let's search by name. engine fuel valve or something. Let's see if anything's mapped here. No. How about fuel? I just have a feeling that something is... I'm actually not sure. That is running. So that wasn't it. But why is the engine switched off? Oh, it was the rudder, wasn't it? Did we change control options? Yeah, Agent B. Let me just... I'll get to your questions in a second. So that should be anything in there. That's breaking it. Man, that's... it just has me worried because there's a button somewhere. And I'm having a feeling that something somewhere is switching off the engine. And I don't know what it is. That's aileron trim. I have no idea. So let me see if I can quickly do that manual open. Just going to try a cross-speed start. Let's try that again. Okay, B, you recently came across a video saying that the Microsoft Flight Sim has a persistent issue with glide slopes, like many of them are either offset or have a wrong descent profile. Well, I've seen it on both airports, B. I've seen it on default airports, and I've seen it on payware add-ons as well. And what I think it is, or at least what I'm surprised about, is the fact that it looks like that the airport add-on makers don't have the option to adjust the glide slope. So I think we've done all the items. Let's do the after start checklist. Oh, pitch trim. Oh, initialize weights. Hold on. Oh, you see, that's one thing I forgot as well. Fuel prediction. Yeah, so we've got gross weight and the CG. CG is 27.9. So we got the gross weight in there, that's fine. And the trim is 4 up. So let's here. So that should be about 0.4 up. Let's say that here either. So, pitch trim is set, rudder trim is rudder trim is 0. It's digital here, so that's 0. Spoilers armed, slats flaps 15.0, and ecom status. Let's try that. So status is normal. It's checked. Anti-ice is not required. Handling is received. That's the after suction is completed. Let's do turn off lights. Taxi line. Austin traffic, American 692 taxiing runway 18 right in Austin. So, clear left side, clear right side, and off again. Let's just hope we don't accidentally press that button that switches off an engine. Yeah, I think so too. I think they mentioned that, yeah. They are going to bring the add-on into X-Plane 12. That is what I've heard as well. Good, we're just going to follow the taxi line here. Brake check, brakes are working. So let's read the E4 takeoff checklist. Flight controls are checked. Briefing is confirmed. No changes. Again, slats flaps 15.0. Performance is checked, set with P climb and nav armed. So Charlie to the right. Takeoff config. Let's check the config. Oh, there's a button somewhere. Hang on. I know there. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Somewhere there's a button for config. Is it that? Yeah. Okay, let me just try that again. Just taxi onto here. Yeah, so if it was wrong, it will give you a warning, wouldn't it? So takeoff config is checked. Transponder 2000. We'll put this to TARA on already. And that's down to the line. The rest we'll do once we get airborne. Good. So heading 175 after departure, climbing 5,000. Okay, B, yeah, all the best. Hope get the issues are getting sorted out soon. If you click long enough, it shows normal. Ah, yeah, fantastic. There we go. Thank you. Cool. Excellent. Danny, you are correct. Yeah, it probably will get very loud on takeoff. So let me change the settings here a bit. So hopefully that will not be too loud. Good. Let's get ready for departure. There's no traffic in sight. Yeah, TCAS is here, so there's no TCAS traffic, 6 miles at least. Although we can go with the range. Let's change the range to 12 miles now. You can see that here. 12 nautical miles changed. Good, so below the line, cabin is secure, TCAS, DARA packs are going to be remaining on, although we can do that. ignition. Let's do this to continuous relight. And anti-ice is off. That's before takeoff checklist completed. Austin traffic, American 6. Austin traffic, American 692 lining up, departing 18 right. I just heard that echo. Yeah, I thought, what's going on? Alrighty. So it's displaced threshold, guys. Be careful of that. So here's the threshold. One more check to the right, to the left. Wind from the front. Are we guys ready? I think so. Here's the yoke cam. Mexico, here we come. Let's go. Oh, I can just simply press auto thrust, right? Hang on. There we go. Here's the... Thrust set. Already 100 knots. E1. Rotate. Wow, it takes a lot of pitch input. Pause line, you're up. Let's go again on heading select. That was the landing gear, I assume. Accelerating nicely. Waiting for the S speed here to retract the flaps. Oh, just slats, sorry. Right. Flap 0. There goes the slats. All right. Autopilot is on. So now we should be able to go to 250 knots. That is in. Let's reset the spoilers. After takeoff climb checklist, slats flaps retracted, landing gear is up, and that could go to off, right? Yeah, is off. And or neutral, packs are on. Good climb rate on the pressure system, and altimeters reaching 5,000. No, not altimeters. Disregard. Oh, yeah, it is altimeters. Altimeters to go. Good, so we've got 5,000. Let's go direct to guards. So direct, guards, insert, and nav. So now it's going to go to a nice right. No, we're not that heavy, Danny, no. So let's put... So now we got P thrust, P climb, and 30,000. Now the weight was 120 tons, so we are far away from max takeoff. So transition is in 18,000 feet, so we've got a bit to go. Thrust is now back to auto. And we can see it's using, yeah, climb power 100.2 roundabout. Very nice. Flight time is at 20:48. So it's about an hour 45 to go. Should put this to run. Okay, so we're past 10,000 feet. We're going to accelerate now to 308 knots. Switch the lights on there. All the lights off. Seatbelts go off as well. Engine sounds are still fairly loud, aren't they? So I've dialed down the sim sounds about 15% only. Hope that's alright. Question, is it possible to set altimeter standard or local when you're cleared to above or below? Well, we only do that when we are in a descent. So if you're in the descent and you get cleared at altitude, we will set the QNH. But going up, we'll wait until we pass transition altitude to set standard. I love how in the sim here it's so smooth how to dial. You see how it's not jerky at all, it's just a nice fluid motion. Yeah, they've done a really good job of that. Hey Stepke, nice to see you. How are you? The clouds are lovely as well. And a nice wing flex. I like that as well, that's really nice. Hey Mighty Morph, how you doing? How often is it that the pilots are the ones wanting to just cruising altitude or ATC telling pilots to change? Well, so these days, when you do your flight planning or when dispatch does the flight planning for the flight, it has a very good forecast regarding your gross weight. So your operational flight plan will already have a very good cruising level inserted, including any step climbs. So let's say you're doing a very long flight here in the A310, you would have an initial climb here, for example, 350, and then further down at some point you have you know, a step climb to 370. That is actually very accurate. Now that is something you file with ATC. So ATC already pretty much knows at what flight level you want to cruise at. However, in real life, they will always, literally always ask you your requested altitude. Talk about altitude, let's set to standard. Standard is cross-check 193. And so we will tell them. The reason being is that quite often you may have a different gross weight. So, and then obviously you check your optimum level. So right now it will be 370. So what we'll do now, actually, we'll tell ATC request 370 for cruise, and then they would go, all right, climb 370. Also, Mighty Morph, another thing that that determines your cruising level would be turbulence, for example. So it's perfectly normal if you have turbulence at some point to let the controller know, hey, you know what, this cruising level is not optimum. Or maybe even ATC would say, oh, okay, be aware though, aircraft 40 miles ahead of you at level 370 has reported moderate turbulence. And then, for example, I would ask, okay, any reports on 350? And then maybe the controller would say, well, 350 seems to be smooth. And then I would, go with level 350. And K-Rim, hello, and James, hello to you, welcome. Yeah, weather is something obviously that that needs coordination with ATC as well. So, you normally have your weather radar on, and then if there is any cells, thunderstorm cells that may conflict with your flight path, you will ask for a deviation left or right. Normally on the lee side, sorry, the loof side, not the loof side of the thunderstorm. So where the wind is, let's say the wind is coming from the right, and there's a cell right there, we would go upwind of upwind of that cell, not downwind. James is still learning the Max 8. I'm not sure why you cannot take off. Yeah, Mighty Morph. These thunderstorms are moving at the speed of the wind at level flight level 100. That's normally how quickly they are moving. Up here, you have higher wind speeds, and so just like it's a physical obstruction, just like a mountain, or maybe not quite as strong, but it's a physical boundary, and so the wind actually then is forced up. And just like on the mountain, on the lee side, it may have some rotors that cause turbulence. So you may find, depending on the size of the cloud and depending on the wind speed, that on the lee side, so on the downward side, you have turbulence. I mean, that's a theory. Now, sometimes, because of the way these thunderstorms are located, it may not be economical to go on the upwind side, and so you may just accept the fact they're going to be on the lee side of the cloud. But I would then switch on the seatbelt signs, make an announcement, tell passengers to get strapped in again. And talking about being strapped in, I'm sure you heard about the several cases in the US where people got injured, catapulted right to the ceiling. because they weren't strapped in. And so it's always advisable when you have taken your seats, just put on your lap belt. Just put on the belt. It doesn't have to be tight, but you know, it has to be so that it keeps you from being thrown up into the ceiling. And the problem is, you can have clear air turbulence. It happens very rarely to encounter clear air turbulence without any warning. I don't remember, well, I do remember the last time we had kind of severe turbulence, but that was on the 747. That was so long ago. These days, we normally would have ATC or, you know, aircraft around us which would do pilot reports and let you know of any major turbulences, if that's clear air turbulence. Any other turbulence associated with thunderstorms, you know, convective clouds, wake turbulence, that sort of stuff, if it's visible, you can avoid it. Okay, so James, maybe the settings on your autopilot panel are not quite correct. Just make sure you have everything set correctly that your autopilot can follow. Yes, so Mighty Morph, I would say that, I mean, those aircraft, so the pilot reports from these aircraft would be very, very clear. And if I hear an aircraft reporting actual severe turbulence, that gets my attention. Right? So definitely would I ask, where was that? And you know, is there a way I can avoid it? Absolutely. And you know, switch on the seatbelt signs, make an announcement.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel
Jenny.
subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Danny, thank you so much for the 13 months. And you're right, thank you for sharing all your knowledge. Well, my pleasure. Always happy to answer questions. Thank you so much for your support, Danny. That's really kind. Julian, guten Abend. And Tapti, guten Abend. I hope you're doing well. And Cheese Puff, hello to you as well. 2,000 feet to go. Yeah, so that's, you know, I would say on a daily basis, looking at how many aircraft are flying around the world, there's lots of turbulence encounters worldwide. And the reason that little happens, you know, and a good thing that so little really happens and you know, not many people get injured in these events, is that there's a good network of reporting, and to just make sure that, you know, people are warned and have enough time to get strapped in. So we have 1,000 feet to go. I'm going to switch to vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute maximum. And Tapti, I hope you have a lovely stay in Jordan. I was there in September with both of my daughters. Had an absolutely amazing time. Are you going to be able to do some sightseeing? So new cruising out at 370. We'll clear that. Also, there's no way to put in a cost index, is there? You can only put in a certain speed, because that is really slow. That is near green dot. So if you have that kind of condition, and the Neos, for example, 320 Neos, they love doing that, and I hate it because VLS is so close by And if you drop below green dot, quite often you're on the back side of the power curve, meaning that you're going to have to add a lot of thrust in order to get out of it. And if you're already at very high power settings, there may not be sufficient thrust available to get out of that backside of the power curve again. Init page, mode, hold on, init. Oh, that's why. It set automatically 0, and it should be, let's put 50. Well, that didn't change anything. I want. Oh, that made it even worse. Hang on. Let me put in cruise wind. Let's go. Let's go ref. Let's go. Init. Flight plan progress. Prediction. Ref. Where was that? Where was I just now with the... Oh, this menu is terrible. Oh, hang on. It has 0.79 now. So I'm not sure why it's not flying 0.79. It maintains 0.77, although it did say 0.79 here. Can I put 0.81? 80? 370? Is that possible? No. Oh, you're right. Profile. That explains it. You see what I mean now? It dropped below green dot, and it's now really struggling. That's something you don't want to have. Oh, that's me. You know what? I was just wondering why it was in selected speed, but yeah, I used vertical speed, and in the A320, when you do that and you get into your cruising level, it switches automatically back to managed speed. Now it doesn't do that here in the A310. That's why. So typical me being A320 lazy. Giftzwerk, sorry, you asked, could you explain your approach to a short notice runway change? I was watching a video and off topic and it seemed super messy, not even a rebrief after changing. Yeah, so Giftzwerk, what we normally do, give an example, Frankfurt. So you approach 25 left, and we would say, well, we would accept a swing to 25 center down to 1500 feet bar row. And then we'll fly it raw data, flight path vector, and we'll get instructions regarding this approach from ATC. Right, that will be one briefing. If you have, let's say, 25 right inserted, and you briefed 25 right, in the secondary flight plan, we would normally put in 25 left. And then we would already calculate the performance, landing performance of both runways, and then we would, wait. So, and then let's say at some point we get a clearance, and it will be fairly early. So once we get into the approach controller, or get to the approach controller, we would ask them if it's possible to get 25 left, or they may offer it to us. And then let's say we're cleared to 25 left, then we need to change or activate the secondary flight plan, and then change the minimums again, or insert the minimums for the 25 left. And then we would do the normal briefing. So the pilot monitoring would brief the approach and the misapproach procedure again. and brief the minimums, while I would then, as pilot flying, brief again the taxiing, so where we vacate the runway and the taxiing hotspots and so on. So definitely would you do another briefing? Absolutely. Yeah, Julian, it has, you know, the information available through, you know, internet and online services is incredible. Absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. How often do you program potential runway change in second flight plan? If it's a common thing, Mark, so if it's, you know, like Frankfurt, we would do that quite often. Yeah, so if you do that before takeoff, we have what's called a departure change departure change checklist, and we normally have that on our briefing package as well. And let me just get my website open on the checklist. I can show you that there. So same thing. If you expect, or if you don't know which departure run we will get, you can of course then request or put your other option into the secondary flight plan. Now on the departure side, however, you have to let me just get the normal checklist. So there we go. So you have your departure change checklist. So once you changed all the data, and normally in hindsight you would already calculate all the departure performance values, you would insert that into the MCDU with parking brake set. You don't do that while taxiing, obviously. And you then read, once everything's inserted, you read that departure change checklist. That's mandatory for us. And Tapti, you say looking forward to it, and you've never been there. Oh yeah, so you're going to go to the Dead Sea. Nice. Yeah, Dead Sea is only about an hour from the city center, so that's not that far away. Petra is amazing to look at, and I think at the moment it should be too hot. So there are definitely some good stuff there. Yeah, Giftsback, pleasure. A crash course on how the flight path angle works. It's fairly simple. So you have your changeover. So contrary to what you have in the A320 with a button there, flight path vector or heading or track, here you simply put that switch to the up position once, and then instead of the crossbars, you get the flight path vector. And there we go. Now we can see that green little indication there, and it's like a representation of your aircraft. The yellow box is the longitudinal axis of the aircraft, right? So this is where physically the aircraft is pointing at. That doesn't change, obviously, and this is where the aircraft is actually going. So right now there isn't much wind. It's only 14 knots. So we're not drifting much to the left or right, because otherwise that would normally go a little bit more to the left. And so as long as the aircraft wings are on the horizon, you're doing level flight. Right? If you are descending, that aircraft will be below the horizon. If you are climbing, that aircraft symbol will be above the horizon. And the difference between your longitudinal axes and the actual flight path vector indication, that is your angle of attack. So right now it's about 2.5 degrees. Cheese Puff. No, hang on. Did you get my direct message on Discord about the Phoenix config file? When did you post that? Because I've been contacted with regards to wind drops, but I've not seen anything. So now, for example, you see, because we're on a turn, we have to increase the angle of attack to maintain altitude. Well, the aircraft slowed down a bit as well. So because we're slowed down, in order to stay, at level flight, the angle of attack has to be increased. And then once we get wings level again, that and the speed increases, that'll go back to 2.5 degrees. It was a few days ago. Let me try that. What's your at Fly Money? Hey, Cheeseboat, do you have the same name on Discord? Because I can't see anything there, unfortunately. Temperature should be around 25 degrees. That's brilliant. Yeah, that's a really nice temperature as well. How often do you use that? Normally down when you fly manual flight raw data. So you would hear so visual approach, for example, would be typical Tom C. Okay, I'll search again. Tom C. Ah, okay. Right, so just gonna reply to you. Camera config file. It's in your Steam or in the normal. So roaming. Okay, I will do that after the stream, alright? Tom? Yeah, sorry for not seeing that message. Yeah, I've got it now. Have they fixed preservation? What was wrong with it? That looks pretty normal to me. Now this is interesting. So we can see the cabin has a pressure altitude of 7,300 feet. And if the pressure at Mexico would be 1013 and the elevation is 7,300 feet, then there will be no change in the cabin pressure for landing, or maybe just a little bit to get below 200 feet below that to prevent pressure bumps in the cabin. But what would happen as the aircraft descends and the cabin pressure remains the same physically, the differential pressure will go slowly down to 0. So by the time we touch down, it should be pretty much 0. So that's already interesting today. Okay, you just want me to send you the Phoenix config file, not the PNG, just the Phoenix one. Okay, so I'm not sure what was wrong with the preservation and what at what stage did it go wrong? Nick. And Chomper, hey, how you doing? So we're currently here. That says Port Isabel. still got a bit to go. It's fixed on beta. Well, I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure I'm not running beta. Unless you don't have the choice. Hey, greetings Christchurch. Good morning to you. Chalvin, how are you doing? Yeah, Iceman in the middle of the hot desert. Yeah, that's so ironic. What's the progress fuel prediction? So right now we're expected to land with 8.7 tons of fuel. And at 2054, so that's an hour 25 to go. Yeah, so it's 1934. Regarding the fuel, so it's a half an hour. It's about 34 minutes into the flight because we started the Corona a bit later. So it was pretty much 1900 that we took off, right? So 1900, and we're coming up to Charlie Romeo Papa. No, Bro then. Okay, we'll check Bro. So that should be at 1943. 1943. And we're then supposed to have 8.3 plus 3. I'm currently have 12.6, so so expecting to have 11.3 because we have 3 tons extra. Okay, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Nick is fine. So if it's just sometimes failing, then I'm just happy that's working today. I'm going to put this back to flight path, to the flight director, not the flight path, the flight director. Just, you know, one more up click and you get the flight director back again. Well, not really. If you select a vertical speed, the main focus for the autopilot system is to maintain your commanded vertical speed. Now obviously the flight path vector will show you a descent, but the descent rate depends on many things like, you know, airspeed, weight, external factors, temperature, pressure, etc., etc. So that indication regarding a degree indication down doesn't always correspond to the same vertical speed. So when you command a certain vertical speed down, the autopilot will maintain that vertical speed and it'll correspond to a certain flight path vector down indication. Yeah, I may have witnessed that as well at some point, Nick. So sometimes it goes into red pressure or red band and the valves aren't working. So the outflow valves that you see here are forward and aft. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so on the A320, that is a different matter. The A320 has a function where you can select a flight path angle here as well. Here you can't. So the A310, it doesn't have the option to select a certain flight path angle. In the A320 series, that's a really nice feature because you don't have to kind of work out your own required rate of descent in feet per minute. You can simply just put the flight path angle value there, and the aircraft will then, depending on the ground speed, manipulate the descent rate in order to maintain that commanded flight path angle. Yes, you are correct. In the A320, that is a different matter. There you can do that, yeah. I've never flown American Airlines as a passenger, so I don't know. I love the liveries. I love the paint job there. Looks really nice. Fly money, pleasure. Pleasure. Always happy to answer questions. But there's an A320-1000. Well, let's just say this is the best Boeing aircraft that Airbus ever built, right? An Airbus with a yoke. Oh, A320-10. Okay. The Bigger, you haven't heard me say that before? It's one of the old jokes. -10. Ah! Now I get it. A320 -10. Ah. American Airlines flew to Christchurch last December to Auckland. Nice. So let's go for Light Director on again. We do try to remember that we're going to do a fuel check at Bro. That's a nice name for a viewer. Bruh. The Miko, 100%, yeah. I will miss the table. Hey Quas, how you doing? Nice to see you. Did you manage? I was sorry, Quas, I couldn't stay that long on your stream, but I love the idea that you can actually have your audience trigger failures depending on their kind of air miles account. Did you manage to land, or did your viewers at some point just literally fail everything? Oh, Kwas, all good, all good. I always appreciate, you know, your service, but no worries. I know, you know, you have a real world job to get on as well. So, oh no, you ended landing at Cranfield after a right engine failure. Oh my god. But I mean, GG, Kwas. GG for you being able to handle all of these abnormals and the Challenger. That's incredible. And a big shout out, guys, if you don't know Quas yet, let me do that here. So big shout out to Quas, streamer on Twitch as well. Make sure to check out his channel. And Nicolas, hello. Nicolas, I know some, or I knew some real-world pilots that flew the A310 at our company, and they absolutely loved it. The versatility, the power, the cockpit, they really loved it. Eva, good evening. Quas, I love the A310. I fly it, you know, not enough. But for some reason today, I came across the A310 somewhere. Not sure if I read some news somewhere or something. And then I thought, you know what? I haven't been to the US for ages, and I want to try to go to Mexico again. Mexico City. Always a challenging approach there. Yeah, Goat Friend, we try to set up another shared cockpit flight soon. So, Quas, what are you doing Wednesday? Because Friday I'll be maybe showcasing something on Friday. I know I've got a shared flight as well on Friday. But no time pressure. If it doesn't work, then we can do that after I come back from my holiday, around the 20th. Yeah, Quas is really knowledgeable on the Challenger. Oh, Quas, so you would be able to do a shared cockpit in a Challenger this Wednesday? What time would suit you then? Torre, I think, I'm not sure. Does the iniBuilds have failures in X-Plane? I don't remember. I think it does, doesn't it? So here you don't have these failures, but apart from that, I think it has pretty much the same depth. And Torre, I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you. Long beaches there as well. Incredible. Ask for transfer to Luftwaffe. They fly the. Oh, they do, right? Yeah. Well, you know that. We pilots in Germany, airline pilots, we get exempted from doing reserve duty. So I actually was in the German Air Force to do national service a long time ago. But normally, after you've done your national service, you would be in what's called reserve duty. And so it could happen from time to time that you would be called out to go on a, 1 week or 2 week exercise to kind of refresh your memory. But we airline pilots in Germany are exempt. However, in case of a conflict, we've signed a contract or a deal that we have to, or that we can be deployed as transport pilots. Okay, so Quas, I'm streaming. I'm looking to stream at 1800 UTC on Wednesday. So we could do that flight 1800 UTC. Is that too late or is that okay for you? That would be perfect. Okay. So, maybe, since you are so knowledgeable on the Challenger, maybe we could do a demonstration of a good failure there. Flight A to B and then do a failure somewhere. And then we have to deal with it in a good old crew resource management environment. Hey MAN, nice to see you. Doing very well. Look what we're flying today. Yeah, KAUS. I mean, a normal flight A to B would be, I think, would be all right. But I think we can spice it up a bit for entertainment purposes. Oh, I need to do my fuel check. So we just came across at 47, let's say. So we're running 3 minutes behind, or even 4 minutes behind. So 1947 at 8.3 tons plus plus 3, so 11.3 is what we're supposed to have, and we've got 11.7, so we had about 11.8 as we crossed that waypoint. So we're good on fuel, so we've got 3.5 tons extra. So nice shot. Lol. Yeah, I love this aircraft. It's beautiful. And there's not many aircraft apart from the Phoenix. I like the sounds on the Phoenix as well. But the iniBuilds A310 has, you know, one of the best sounds in Microsoft Flight Sim. And excited to see that we're going to Mexico. Now we have about an hour left. Yeah, pretty much an hour flight time left. But I can already give you a little bit of a rundown. So the arrival route is an hour of arrival. So we'll check all the restrictions in a minute. Transition should be 18,000 here as well, if I'm not completely mistaken. And then we're going to fly the ILS 5 right, unless the wind changes by a great amount. But normally you would have 5 right ILS approach, which goes from Sutas. Some step downs, and yeah, it goes right over the city. Very beautiful scenic approach as well, so very nice. Is that Monterey, you're saying? Further in the distance. Fly-by-wire sounds? Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad either. Oh yeah, Danny, I remember that. Yeah, the MD-11. Oh, that was an X-plane, wasn't it? Yeah, that was spicy. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I have my salad here. Right, so I'm already going to enter the MDA while I have the chart open. So it's going to be 7570 for the minimum. 7570. And then for the go around, yeah, we'll leave as it is. That's approach. Now, obviously, we're going to do 30-40 landings, so slats 30, flaps 40, trying to get the speed down as much as we can. And we're going to have hot brakes anyways, I think. And we don't have any landing calculator yet, do we? Just takeoff calculator. Yeah, just the takeoff one. So, we have isolated CI. What's CI? Isolated CBs, right? It's just a typo, I'm sure. So hazy, set 27 degrees, but we still have winds for runway 05. So a little bit of haze, but otherwise nice weather. Oh, Cirrus. Yeah, now I remember, yeah. Isolated Cirrus. Now, I don't know what kind of info that should give me. I mean, yeah, cirrus clouds, high level cirrus clouds, but I mean, you click the like button, thank you much. That really helps. So on YouTube, clicking that like button on that video definitely helps me as a content creator. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, we did go around. Yeah, I remember. So while we are here, let's check the restrictions on the arrival route. So the arrival starts at Inaga. It's an RNAV star. GPS required. So if GPS fails or not available, then we would not be able to fly this one. So Inaga at 30,000 feet. Transition, yeah, it's 18.5. So level 190. It's going to be transition level. So let's scroll forward. There we go. So Inaga is at altitude 30,000. So that's correct. Then we've got Mike X-ray 751. Huh? Can't go return. Okay. So then 270 above. That's a plus sign. So that's fine. Then we've got 755 at 18,000, and maybe to change the VNAV profile. So let's just go to progress fuel prediction, init ref progress cruise forecast. There we go. So descent forecast. Let's look at the approach. I'm looking for the if we can set transition level anywhere. I just don't find it. Okay, maybe it's not implemented. I don't know. Okay, anyway, so 18,000 at 755, 230 knots. Then the next one is still 18,000 at 759, and then we've got Almis, max speed to 10, and at 14,000. Then we go 717, 12.5 above to 10 knots as well. And then we've got Zutas, max 190, 11,000 or above. And then we go on to that approach procedure. So Zutas, max 190, 11,000. Then we descend down to 9,700 or above. And then we go to Mike X-Ray 900. And there we're going to have mandatory. So there we have to be at 8,900 feet. And max speed 190 still. Hey Bruno. Then we go final descent, 3 degrees down. Yeah, it's got 3.1 degrees here. And then you've got the runway, and the missed approach takes us over these waypoints, 949, 950, max 185 knots, correct. 740, 951. So actually the missed approach takes us around the south, but still it's a lot of track miles. So that's why we have that extra fuel. And then we go back to Walloon, and from there initial approach fix will start the approach again. Okay, so that's all correctly programmed. Fantastic. Yeah, maybe someone knows. I've not seen anywhere a prompt, because normally you would have that somewhere in the VNAV part. So it doesn't have it in the fuel prediction. Nothing in the approach page. Yeah, I know. I checked that already. So, well, hang on. Progress. Descent forecast. Yeah, it's just got the winds. I mean, I may as well enter some of the wind data that may help later on for the descent calculations. So on the flight plan we have at level 310 it's 195 at 21 knots. Then level 200 it's 082 at, so it's not much wind really, it doesn't make much difference. And then level 100, well, so just one, let me put 150 in there. 150, it's supposed to be 063 at 7, and then we can enter the wind at the airport, which would be right now 360 at 13. So it does change a bit. So 360 at 13. Alright, so now we've done all that. That will help with the descent calculation. Cabin pressure is still good. No changes there. Oh yeah, the ILS frequency you can pre-select already. So 5 right should be 109.1. 109.1, and the inbound course is 055. So this is one of the things which pilots do pretty much automatic, and that is to already prepare stuff in a low workload environment like a cruise flight, and that way, once you get into that high workload environment, you have already done lots of setup stuff, so you don't have to go heads down and program stuff later on. Especially Mexico is an airport that requires, full attention outside and with ATC, etc. It's interesting that this routing is right around the coastline all the time. So it's all along the coastline. So we're coming up Tango Alpha Mike. So it's not that much longer. So currently about 50 minutes. Or 45 maybe even. Let's say 50 minutes. Oh yeah. Landing distance available. So let's have a look at the charts, shall we? So let's look at taxi. So 5 right has a runway that's 4,100 meters long. However, landing distance available 5 right beyond the threshold is only 3,500. Now that is still a very long runway, and so I am actually gonna have a look. There's a crossing Bravo 9 Bravo, so that's fine. I'd rather taxi back a bit longer than having to deal with really hot brakes. So we're gonna plan with max reverse and auto brake low. So I'm gonna put low auto brake here. Let's do one more fuel check. That's DUSP. Do we have DUSP? Yes, we do. So DUSP, we're supposed to be at 2006. And we should have 9.8 tons of fuel. So, well, actually, we made up some time. So, I guess maybe 2 minutes late. Or just 1 minute late, and we got 10.5, and we're supposed to have 9.8. So we're still very good on fuel. Time is fine. And the top of the descent should be shown here. So that's our descent error. Top or drop, as some people say. Yeah, I'm not sure down if it's really bouncing up and down or if it's just a camera effect from Microsoft. I mean, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is going a little bit up and down. Yeah. So these are the VOR indications, NDB indications, I would assume. Now for the approach, do we actually have NDBs? No, not really. I mean, what we can do is we can manually select Mexico. So let's do that. Progress page, so Mexico. Put that here. So obviously it's not receiving anything yet, we're still too far away. That's why it's showing 90-degree offset here. So that dashed indicator there is VUR1. And the 2 bars obviously shows VUR2. DME1, DME2. Yeah, the wind, I saw the wind changes again on the ground. You see that with the speed trend bouncing around quite a lot at the moment. So it's a shame. Yeah, I hope they get that fixed soon. Yeah. Good. Okay, so remember guys, if we have to go around, we press this button there to get toggle power. And then if we are on flaps 30, I guess then it's 2020 for the missed approach. So it has these gates here. So we'll go around flaps. Flaps go 2020, and then we go positive climb, gear up. We'll climb away safely. We have to be careful though. High altitude, so pitch up. Yeah, initially 15 degrees, and then we'll monitor the speed trend. Yeah, step climb, I can do that. Hang on, let me just go and step prediction. So it would be 390. And so, interesting, it says 15 miles, time 30. Oh, insert. Okay, yeah, so it wants step climb here, just prior to TAM. That is interesting. I mean, Optimus 380 and Max is 388. I would be really careful with that. So I'm actually surprised that it gives that recommendation to step climb. That seems a bit ambitious to me. Yeah. Yeah. Let's forget about it. Well, but Danny, it shouldn't get you. I'm not saying that it's not completely that it's completely unrealistic, but as a pilot, I would be very careful going into a max altitude. Because again, your buffer to the so the excess thrust available once you get below the or behind the power curve is just so little that you're going to have a hard time accelerating out of it again. So and you know, you can always have some turbulences. So if the wind suddenly changes, you know, from headwind to tailwind, and your indicated airspeed then drops, yeah, below green dot, so below the wind drag curve, then you could become, you know, behind the power curve, and then that's it. It's going to be hard to come out of it again. Yeah, I can also really see some terrain at a distance. So top a drop at about, what, 100 miles? 110 miles? At 20:32, so about 17 minutes. So anything else we can prepare? I think I've done everything, right? Landing distance, automatic low set. Then we have RATNAV set. Minimums are set. Decide on the flap setting. Alright, so let's do a approach briefing then. So we're going to be flying on the Enaga to Alpha arrival. Sectors initially grid 13.3, 19.5, 18.1, so very high terrain. And then we have our minimum descent altitudes there, so we follow that exactly. And then within the sector, so within 25 miles from Mexico, it's 12.1 to the north, the west 14.8, south southeast is 19.4, and that's why we're going to have to stick with these ANAF tracks. And you can see that leads us very nicely around these peaks. Yeah, they've got 9,000 feet, 9,000 feet. Yeah, and that takes us around at 11,000 as well. Yeah, max 10. We've got to be, yeah, here we've got to be at 11,000. So cool. Would follow. Oh, that's followed then by the ILS approach 5 right. Minimum is set at Barrow MDA 7570 feet. Checked on the ILS. Landing distance available 3,500 meters. So we've got a margin, I would say, probably 800 meters, 700 meters in that region. Automatic is low. We're going to fly it, obviously, with flight directors. Config is going to be 30-40. Automatic is low. And then we'll vacate near the end Going to take a high-speed turn off at Echo of Foxtrot, taxi back Bravo to Terminal 1. Hotspots taxi in. Yeah, we've got to be careful. We're going to cross the active runway for takeoff, 5 left, and then taxiing back. There's crossing traffic here as well, so we've got to be careful. And that's it. Specials. Well, we already briefed. We've got a high elevation airport, so 7,300 feet, meaning higher true airspeed, higher ground speed, higher descent rates, obviously. So we're going to monitor that, be aggressive, correcting any deviations. Threats, obviously, the terrain. And normally in real life it would be ATC as well. I've witnessed them in real life. I mean, that was some time ago, I admit that, but we had thunderstorms around the airfield once, and then as soon as 2 aircraft went around and called in for deviations, ATC fell back into their native language, and they gave instructions in Spanish to KLM, Air France, etc., which is not really helpful. So ATC was definitely a little bit of a threat back then. I mean, I would imagine they improved by now. Cool. So that's the plan. And anything I forgot? So later we have an approach checklist to go through, but that's about it. Caramba, caramba, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so J&B 4K should be nicely manageable. Ultra settings when you're using DX12 and frame generation, yes, and maybe G-Sync on. But now this is just me. I'm using a 2K monitor right now. No doubt, clouds, ultra setting, and everything else is literally just high settings, and I'm perfectly happy with the high settings. Now, ultra settings should be fine as well, as long as you don't put the LODs, to 200 or something. That is definitely a performance killer. And I have mine set to 100 right now, so and the sim looks absolutely amazing. I don't know. I'm not missing anything. Let's put it this way. Yeah, and I've been asked why I'm not using frame generation here in the sim, because when I do that, I sometimes get ground texture issues in DX12, for one. For two, when streaming, DX12 doesn't really, and the frame generation does not show up on your streaming software. So you actually have quite a lot of stutters and lags when streaming. So while you're having nice, smooth kind of, simulation, the stream doesn't look like it. So that's why I'm using, 50 hertz, 50 FPS, VSync, and that way it's not perfect, but all in all, I think at the moment, when streaming, that is the best setup. Yeah, so JMB, if it's specifically for Microsoft Flight Sim, have a look at the latest Ryzen CPU. Because there is some interesting kind of reports coming from there. Oyster, okay, well, let me know. Oyster, I'm seriously interested to hear your opinion about it. Yeah, please share your experience on that. Cool. 40 miles, 35 miles, top to drop. And, man, what's the volcano called again? Popo something? Not been here for ages. That is active from time to time. When it's active, it's active. Absolutely. No doubt about it. That's nice. It's nice views here. Love it. Well, you know what, Oist? It's just my observation. For me, PNG runs at the same performance level as the Phoenix. What a beautiful day. Only a few clouds. Let's go down to 18,000. According to the profile. So I'm going to dial in 18,000. And then transition is going to be in 190. Oh well, I mean the Etna is definitely a very tame kind of volcano, yeah. Mexico not showing up yet. Fix page. Do we have something there? Yeah, there we go. So let's put in there. So we've got 90 miles direct distance to Mexico Airport, but we have that long arrival route. Yeah, that was a lot of clutter. But that was already included the missed approach. So it showed everything, all the restrictions, approach and the missed approach as well. So yeah, definitely a lot of clutter. Oh, we got Mexico now. Look at that, 88.5 miles. Caramba. I'm going to start an ascent now. So P descend. The reason being is that it should go at 1,000 feet per minute until it hits that descent path later on. And that way, the initial dive isn't as steep. Popocatépetl, yeah, that's it. And that's why I can't remember it. It's my brain just goes, nope. Nope. Forget it. I'm not remembering that. Nicolas, if the signal is strong and there's no mountains in between the station and your aircraft, it's line of sight. So contrary to some people's belief, the Earth is not flat. And so because of the Earth's curvature, the VUR at some point will be shadowed by the surface. And so that's why we say VUR stations line of sight. Depending on signal strength, obviously, and yeah, if we have any mountains masking the station. So 150 miles is possible, easily. But here in Mexico, because of that that mountain, well, at least some terrain right now in between. So I would expect some masking, terrain masking there. So there we go. It's holding about 1,000 feet per minute ready to ascend until we hit that path again, and the vertical deviation is coming back in again. So slowly we'll be approaching that VDEF. That'll be centering soon, and then it will do an idle power descent. Yeah, Bruno, I think X-Plane does it, right? So X-Plane should be doing it. Cheese Puff? Yes, I am. Yes, Danny. Again, yeah, line of sight. So the higher up you are, the further will be your reception distance. Yeah. Correct. Ah, okay, so it's more the aircraft addons that do it. Ah, okay, understood. There we go. So now it's diving down. You see what I mean? So with idle power, it really... It's not even idle power, is it? It does drop down very fast. So currently we're still probably Mach mode. 0.81 right now. There's no traffic on the TCAS. And let's see, TCAS is on, right? Yeah, TARA. Transponder is on. Let's put that to below. Yeah, well, at least within 12 miles there's no active aircraft. Yeah, Bruno, I think we both know that these engine power values probably are not really realistic because of known issues within Microsoft. That's just the way it is. Lovely. So, yeah, 30,000 there, and we've got 27 above there, so we're going to monitor that. Now, we are in profile descent, so it should respect that. So So that's more than 20 miles to go. Yeah, who dropped the anchor? Who opened the doors? So, again, now this is wrong. That shouldn't happen that way. Because we did put in the landing elevation. So what should happen is that there shouldn't be much vertical speed in the cabin, and then differential pressure should slowly drop. But that's wrong. It will not schedule it that way. But it is maintaining the 27. It's a bit hazy down here. They call it haze. And we'll see once we get further down. So it is respecting those limits there. That's fine. And I'm not sure why it went that way. Let's go back to P descent. Smog. Well, yeah, in parts it could be smog as well. But boy, this brings back memories. No joke. This is this looks so realistic to what I've witnessed. And the arrival route will come by in between here, if I remember correctly. Gorgeous. Cool. So continue to descend, speeding, or actually losing speed now to meet the next restriction. So 18,000 at speed to 30. That's going to be the next restriction there. Yeah, again, this is not what's supposed to happen. And now differential pressure is increasing. It's kind of weird to see this. Yeah, Bruno, it would rip everyone's eardrums out, for sure. If that were to happen in real life. Wow, look at that scenery. Unbelievable. Yeah. The airsoft CO2 does that, really? Well. So, 20 miles to go, 6,000, 8,000 feet to go, speed, so we're a little bit high in the profile. I wonder when it starts complaining. I think we're going to help it out a bit. So speed brakes extended. go a bit more here. And now we're able to reach it. Yeah, Danny, exactly. So that's why we have to take action. How many minutes left to go? We have about 15-16 minutes, so let's strap everyone in. And before I forget, let's put some landing lights on. So this is one of the things in real life as a pilot that's always so fascinating. So that view down, and if the if the weather is fine, you've got good visibility, some lovely scenery, that's always fascinating. So Danny, the thing is, it can't draw the turns. But it will do a arc, or it will do a soft intercept. Mexico City Airport, American 692 is on the Inaga 2 Alpha arrival, runway 5 right in Mexico. Very quiet wherever he is. Can't really hear him. So the airport will be behind this part here. So somewhere here will be the airport. So now we're coming back into the profile. Speed brakes coming back in. Got 8.3 tons of fuel, so we have at least 3 tons extra. That's enough fuel for a second approach. Okay, so let's set the altimeter. Let me just check the weather one more time. So that should be 3027. Set. Let's get rid of that pressure indication there. Cool. So next restriction is well, 18,000 at until we reach Mike X-ray 759. So altimeter set. Let me read the approach checklist. Signs are on. Briefing confirmed. ECAM status. Let's press status here is normal. Altimeters 3027 set. Cross-check minimums MDA 7570 feet. Ignition. Let's put that back to continuous relight. And the landing elevation 7,300 feet is set. And that is the approach checklist completed. Look at that. So sharp turn coming up. Sierra 751. Okay. So there's somebody else behind me, the KLM. So we're not the only ones here. I'm going to put out a set of flaps here. So flaps, slats 15, I should say. Okay, Voyager, moin. KLM is not relevant. Right, let's dial in 11,000 and I'll maintain 18,000 until we pass that waypoint there. Distance to the runway is well 48 miles. There we go. So about 50 miles to go. Okay, we've got P-descent 11,000 set. Max speed at Almis is 210. So we only have like 16 miles. $14,000 feet should be fine. 210 knots, yeah. That should be doable. Yeah, VNAV is not bad. It's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I remember in the MD-11 we had lots of issues last time. Exciting stuff. I love it. I love how some approaches kind of get your nerves tingling, and this is one of those approaches. Yeah, nighttime looks fantastic as well, yeah. So 10 miles to go, 14,000. Max speed to 10. I'll tell you what we'll do now. We're going to select speed, and let's put this to 190 knots already. Because I do want to take out some energy. So, max speed. Didn't it show max speed somewhere on the panel here? Oh, there we go. So this is 210 knots, flaps 15. Look at that. It says VFE 210. So we have that. So let's put one set of flaps out, 15. That Voyager. Yeah, now look at that. The city coming into view here. Cabin up to 3,000 feet. Oh, yeah. GG. Okay, 5 miles, 14,000 there. So we have to maintain 14,000 until we're past that waypoint. Mexico traffic, American 692 is approaching Almis on the arrival for the ILS 05 right in Mexico. Honda Jet, good evening. And Amino Reno, hello. Okay. Next restriction is 12,500. So it shouldn't really level off with that. Update the METAR. So 36013 still, so weather should be good. Alright, down 12.5. And the absolute restriction right now is 11,000 at Zutas, and they're max 119 knots, which we already have. VFE for the next setting is 195, so we can go flaps 2020 at any time. Amazing. Look at that city. Wow. I remember we had our crew hotel somewhere near that final turn. I'll show you when we get there. Oh, supposed to disregard profile. Ah, okay, so if I go, okay, so I've got to be careful when doing that. So it kicks out the profile if I go selected speed. Something to remember next time. Avenger, I think for us, it's still the 747. So down we go, 11,000, 5 miles to go. Hey RK, greetings to India, how are you? Hope you're well. Hey Gator, hello. And it's getting a bit bumpy. ILS. I'm going to select ILS, not yet, because we're still in NAF mode. Once we are in the intercept, I'll switch over to... Although we've got glide slope indication there already. That's fine. Good, 11,000. Next one is 9,700. Down we go. So don't be fooled. Elevation is 7,300, so we're coming up 3,000 feet height. We'll start being a little bit more conservative regarding our energy profile. Here comes gear down. Okay, I'm gonna go with ILS. We've got Alt Blue, Glide Slope Blue, Lock Blue, Cat 2 at the moment. Let's put both autopilots on. Cat, actually dual now. Level off here, speed coming back. Flaps 20. Lockstar. And we should be getting on Glightstar as well now. So 11,000 for the missed approach is set. Speed coming back further towards approach speed. Flaps now coming 30, 40. 140 knots on the speed. Mexico traffic, American 692 is on the final flight right in Mexico. Good. Let's read the landing checklist. Landing gear is down. Auto brake is low. Anti-skid is checked. Slats flaps 30, 40. And spoilers armed. Alrighty. Let's go auto thrust. Off. Manual flight. Oh, whoa! That trim is definitely a bit wrong. Blimey. That took a nosedive. Stop panicking! Like, seriously, how can I concentrate with you screaming? Right, on glide, speed. Oh, speed is getting low. Let's correct that. Takes a lot of power. A lot of power.
You can always go around.
Mark. Correcting. Right, we're on speed. Just trying to keep that touchdown zone in the picture of the windshield there. On glide.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
We have spoilers, reverse, full reverse here. Thank you for flying right now. Man, I'm a bit annoyed about that manual brakes because my landing this afternoon was actually very good here. Closing the reverser and let's take the next high speed to the left. Oh, you guys. So let's see where we are. Actually, we stopped really quickly, didn't we? So we're going to stop in between the two runways. Trying to get my my bearing here. Oh, we did actually. You know what? That is Bravo. That is right at the end. Didn't look like it, did it? It looked like we had ample runway left, so that was not bad for the exit. Right, let's have a look for the runway here. I don't see any traffic. Mexico traffic, American 692, runway 5 right vacated, crossing 5 left in Mexico. Good, spoilers retract, flaps retracting as well. Scroll through on anyways. The KLM Yeah, he's past Zutas, he wrote. I haven't heard him though. Cabin altitude, let's have a look. Yeah, lol, look at that. Runway 5 right is clear. American 690. There he is. Yeah, so now that has reset to normal values. But we saw that. That was definitely wrong in the descent. So, we should have GSX gate, gate, parking gates. Let's go like 17 or something. Well, I'll tell you what, no joke. So when I stayed here in Mexico, I often got a really bad headache on day 2 or 3. So that that thin air really caught me out very often. The ears are still lost. Yeah. Right, ground speed 30 knots. Yeah, you would think that, Mark, but no. If anything, it would have been tequila, but no. And the smog. Well, for me, you know, I have a low pulse anyway, so my resting pulse can be anywhere between 50 and 40. And so I always had a feeling that at high altitudes, my... That's the traffic. My... oh, there he is. My pulse will go down even further. Right. Oh, that approach was interesting. Very scenic, but also quite challenging. Adventure, yeah, probably. Yeah. But the worst air quality that I've ever witnessed was either in Delhi or in Beijing. Beijing has sometimes smog that is really, really, really damaging for your health. So parking should be here. Lilo, take care, good night to you. So there's 17. All in all though, I have to say, a beautiful add-on. It really is enjoyable to fly. Danny, yeah, take care, have a good sleep. Maybe see you next time. Just need to wait for the APU to start up. Yeah, Voyager. Okay, here it goes. APU's available. Let's cut the engines. Oh. I love GSX. So we packed perfectly according to the GSX, but it tells me we've parked too far. Yeah, right. So let's go here, forward, door left. Charts. GP. So beacon off, strobe light should have been off, beacon off, seatbelts off, transponder off as well, or standby. And parking checklist, APU bleed is off, engines are off. Differential pressure was 0. And actually, hang on, we have an after landing checklist as well. Good God. Slats flaps 0. Transponder as required. Radar is off. Spoilers was disarmed. And APU is was started. APU bleed is now off. Engines off. Differential pressure 0. Lights signs are off. Fuel pumps will go off. And the window probe heat off, parking brake chocks are in position, so parking brake is off, and that's the parking check is completed. Welcome to Mexico City Airport. Oh my God. Oh no, what happened?
Now that's how pros.
Oh, that's even KLM. What happened? Oh no. What happened? Someone call the fire brigade. Good God. So let's see. Nighttime, that's it. Oh, you logged off. Okay. So nighttime, let's... let's go here, time, and let's go and have a look at... Oh, that's beautiful as well, isn't it? Oh yeah, lovely, lovely sunset, and then you go into the nighttime. Ah, beautiful. And then nighttime. Let's zoom up. Let me try that a little bit quicker. Oh, just camera. Drone speed fast, and then look at that. You want to send you to Mexico, you'll fix it. Wow, yeah, it's just incredible, right? It's just such a huge, huge city. The new airport is built somewhere here, right? They did build a new airport, and I think it's somewhere here. Interestingly enough, this airport got a lot of critique A lot of bad response, but I don't know. I think it's all right. It's not the best airport add-on, but it's all right. Don't know what people complain about sometimes, but there we go. So let's go here. There again. Beautiful. That was a very enjoyable flight. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm going to go hop into the Cessna 414, and we're going to continue on our Norway one-engine out tour. So we're coming up fairly far north now. Who made this airport? Hang on. Let me just fire up that. It is from, yeah, FlyMex. So yeah, FlyMex, Mexico City International for Microsoft. That's the maker. Whew. Right, give me about 10 minutes time. I'll be back with the Cessna 414. If you're not interested in VFR flying, then I hopefully will see you again on Wednesday. And Wednesday, we already have a date with KAUS on a shared cockpit flight in the Challenger. And Friday should be an interesting stream as well with a new aircraft to show. So, yeah, Stepke, take care. All the best. Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Black box.
Thank you for the support, and either see you in a couple of minutes or on Wednesday. Good night.